Moodz616 sucks fucking dick. What a fucking asshole, man. I met him at Wasteland. Fucking dickhead. Goddamn. Fuck him, man. Fuck.
A tisket, a tasket, a bloody, bloody basket. Cut his head and ate his leg. Now he's in a casket.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Moodz616. And yes, it is random review time. This is episode 6, I believe. Yes, it's been a while since I've done one of these, but I got no excuses. Whatever. Alrighty, so I thought I'd do this one today because this film just got released today, and I've been dying to watch this one forever. It's a film from 1985. I actually didn't really know much about this one until I read up on Gorgon video releasing it. So, and of course the album, or the film cover art definitely caught my attention, so I had to check this out, especially being a film from the 80s, because I love my 80s flicks. And this one is called Evils of the Night. This film right here is starring a lot of familiar faces. Basically got Neville Brand, who plays one of the bad guys in this film, actually in his last role before he passed away. We've got Aldo Ray, Julie Newman's in this film, John Carradine, you got Tina Louise, and Carrie Emerson. Among people, then you got Amber Lynn, the porn star in this one, along with Crystal Breeze. A lot of familiar faces in this film. It's just fantastic casting. But yeah, getting into the plot of this one, it basically centers around a group of teenagers. Well, I guess they're kind of like late teens, early 20s-ish. And basically they have gone to the beach and, they're doing whatever they do out there, drinking, having gratuitous sex and whatnot, just enjoying themselves at the beach, and they decide that they're going to camp there and whatnot. Meanwhile, what they don't know is going on, there's actually a couple aliens that have come down from outer space, played by John Carradine, Julie Newman, and Tina Louise. They have basically come down to Earth and to try and save their species of extraterrestrials. Basically, it's what has happened on their planet is that everyone's kind of dying off. So what they figure is that they need to come down to Earth, and they need to extract the blood of like horny teenagers, and it has to be between the ages of like 16 and 24. So their blood actually helps prolong their race. They figure that with every type of blood sample and whatnot, it'll prolong their lifespan about 200 years and whatnot. So basically what the catch is that they've got a deadline. They need to extract enough blood to save their species or their race of extraterrestrials by a certain time, and to achieve that they need like a certain amount of blood and stuff. So what all the aliens have done, they've set up shop in this nearby hospital and whatnot. They've actually went out, John Carradine and Julie Newman and Tina Louise, I'm so bad with names. They have actually hired a couple kind of like dopey mechanics to basically go and do their dirty work. So what they've hired on Aldo Ray and Neville Brand to basically kidnap teenagers, men and women, whatever, between the ages of 16 and 24, and bring them to this hospital so they can extract their blood for them and stuff. So that is the general premise of the entire film. Now my thoughts on this one. Yes, I mean, with a premise like that, of course the film was going to be ridiculous, but really, really fun stuff. Starting with the overall presentation of the film, I think Gorgon did a really excellent job with this, with the look of the film. They did a really good job cleaning this one up. It looks fantastic. Great anamorphic widescreen transfer and stuff. To the film itself, now this one couldn't get any more 80s. I mean, from the look of all the characters, the big hair, the high bikinis, everything. The soundtrack, the score in this, it's just screaming 80s. Everything about this movie is just top-notch 80s cheese and shellackness. There's really, really good stuff going on in this one. It's fantastic. Some of the dialogue's really cheesy. Performances are kind of over the top and whatnot and stuff. but very enjoyable overall. Like I said, the premise of this film is just ridiculous. It's basically about, you know, these two guys that are snatching up these teenagers and bringing them to a hospital so their blood can be extracted. How can you not go wrong with this? Now, you think that the movie would be a little more gory and stuff like that because there is some deaths in this one. It's not overly gory. The odd thing about this film is that it plays itself pretty straightforward. You know, it doesn't really take itself seriously. There's a lot of sex, a lot of sleaziness in this film and whatnot. But the odd thing about this movie that I found is that it doesn't really know where it wants to go. Now, it's playing itself straightforward, like I said, you know, with the abduction of all these teenagers and the blood extractions and whatnot. But the weird thing is, in the last half an hour of this film, it kind of turns into a slasher film. It kind of turns into, you know, these teenagers versus, you know, these mechanics and whatnot. It's kind of very odd how the whole tone of the film kind of does change a little bit. With that said, man, I really do like the setting of this film. A lot of it takes place at the beach and in the dark in the hospital and stuff, and the atmosphere is actually pretty good. You know, it's not bad. I think what they did, you know, obviously it's a really, really low budget film, but I think they captured it quite well. It actually really does work for it. And just the cheesiness of the soundtrack is just fantastic in this one. Like I said, the acting in this one, not bad. You know, there is some pretty decent performances, some pretty cheesy performances too. And one of the coolest things is all the familiar faces in this one. Amber Lynn, of course, which, you know, of course she's having sex multiple times in this one and whatnot. But it was really cool to see Carrie Emerson in this film. I know her from Chopping Mall. Very, very beautiful, underrated actress from the 80s. She did a few horror films in the 80s. I think she was in White Dog, and she was in Chopping Mall, and she was in this one and whatnot. But she actually stopped acting, I think, in the 80s sometime, which is unfortunate too, because she's absolutely fucking beautiful as hell. She's actually on the back cover right there, which is super cool. But yeah, the overall feel to this one, man, can't go wrong. If you like the 80s, you like your cheese and your shellac, it's a B film at its best, really. It's got really cheesy effects. There is a couple scenes with gore and blood and stuff that's, you know, decent, but the alien effects with the lasers and stuff are just so cheesy, but really, really fun stuff. I really enjoyed this movie. I couldn't recommend it enough. It's fantastic 80s cheese. If I had to rate this one, I'm definitely going to give it about a 7.5 out of 10. It's got everything that I could ask for. It's got, you know, it's got a little bit of blood. It's got lots of TNA. And just lots of cheese. So, peoples, run out, check this film out. Evil of the Night. Really, really fun stuff, man. Really fun stuff from Gorgon. And you can get this one super cheap. I think it's only 12 or 13 bucks on DVD. So, check it out. From 1985. Great, great stuff. Couldn't recommend it enough. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for another episode of my random reviews. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave comments down below if you've seen it. I'd like to hear people's opinions on this one because it's just a lot of fun. Just everything going on in it is quite fun. So, anyways, guys, that's gonna do it. I will be back whenever I decide to post up another review. Peace out, homies.